Want to welcome everyone to our webinar today. We just ask that you remain on mute throughout the duration of this webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to hit the chat button down at the bottom, type out your message. We'll be keeping an eye on the chat throughout the presentation, and we'll address your questions as they come up. Just note that this is being recorded, and we will send out a copy of the webinar after the meeting is complete.
Just one quick thing, like if you guys can hear us, just say yes or I in the message so that we don't talk in the vacuum. So can I get some yes?
Okay, got a thumbs up.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I see some yes. Okay.
Okay, excellent. So today we're going to be covering AI-driven personalization in Drupal 11, elevating user experience and engagement. Okay, my name's Sean. I'm a content experience strategist with Binary Works, and I'm joined by Satish, the CEO.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in.
We're happy to have all of you with us today.
Mhm.
And before we kick things off, we just want to remind you we are rebranding. So we used to be Drupal partners, but we're now going by Binary Works. Okay, and what we're going to cover today is we're going to go through an introduction and then look at what AI-driven personalization is, the different types of it, give you an implementation blueprint, look at a case study, go over some tools, challenges, and best practices, take a look into the future, and then with how to get started with this.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're going to look at what is personalization. It is delivering the right content, product, or message to the right user at the right moment. So it's going to use behavioral, contextual, and demographic data to shape every interaction. So first, you want to really think about how your sites can change based upon the user experience, based upon the intent of the user and the type of user. So you want to think, is this a first-time user to your site? How do you want to approach them? If they're a returning user, how would you like everything format and presented to them? Or if they're anonymous or not logged in, how you want things laid out. So it's more than just a generic user experience. You're really helping to deliver intent-driven experiences based on the user and who is within the site. So you want to make sure they are engaged and returning. Okay. And now there is a shift to AI personalization. Everything in the past used to be rule-based triggers, static segments, and that is not the case anymore. People are using AI models to learn, predict, and adapt continuously. So machine language, it's replacing that manual segmentation. So people are no longer coding out those if-then statements. If this action, then do that, this and that. It's all very time consuming. You have to think of every individual scenario and code to it. But learning is heavy lifting for us now. And what it also allows technology to do is give real-time recommendations that can evolve as behaviors changes. So if you notice one part of your site, it's not getting a lot of attention, it's not getting the clicks, the engagements, AI can kind of push that aside and push content that your users are interacting with more frequently. And then natural language processors, they're decoding the user intent behind the clicks, their searches, and how they are engaging with the content. Okay. And why does this matter in 2025? Well, third-party cookies, they're fading fast. People aren't using them. They're not the best way to connect and engage anymore. People today, they're up to date with the AI trends, so they want to see that experience in their everyday life and mimicked within your sites. So people that are utilizing AI, they're seeing 80% of their users want that tailored experience. And then what happens is once they implement it, they're seeing a 20 to 30% lift in their conversions within the site. And also, it's creating longer sessions and 40% higher engagement within those sessions. So when you're giving people what they're looking for, if you're able to predict it, they're going to stay longer, they're going to engage, and they're going to convert. And then Satish, he's going to dive in and give us more insights and dive deeper into the topics that I just kind of laid out. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Sean. So just want to also give everyone a reminder that if you have any questions, please ask them every now and then. We'll be stopping by and answering them. So we don't want to be sounds like a robot speaking all alone. So make it more interactive. So we would love to ask. Please ask as many questions possible. We'll try to be useful. If not, we'll at least connect back to you later stage with answers. Um, so on the AI-driven personalization, I just want to give an idea of what are the core concepts of this AI-driven personalization. Um, the first one is the user intents understanding through NLP. Like if somebody is looking for your site, for example, an healthcare site, I have this symptom, what would be the right one for me? Or if it is an e-commerce, I am looking to buy a red shoes. So we need to understand the intent of the user and provide results or the experience based on that. And also we look into the way that user interacts. Is he someone who is going to do a research on your site, or is he going to be of an intent of making a buy? So people are not going to buy or sign up with your site on the day they land onto your site. There has to be at least some touch points a user has to go through to before they make a decision in connecting with you. So that's something we look at it. And then we do predictive recommendations, like what would be the users recommended content or products that we can show to them. Even content delivery, like if he is of any specific industry, what would be the right content? Say for example the white paper, or for example the case studies, all these things, what would be very uh, applicable for that user, we will provide that. And all these things has to be done in a real-time decisioning. So yeah, and now it has to be multi-touch point, because omni-channel presence is important. People can do a research on your mobile, they will come back and do a research on the website, on the desktop. So the system has to understand the users uh, behavior across multiple devices and personalize things. These are the main areas we do the personalization. So what's new in Drupal for doing this personalization? First one is definitely the PHP 7 and PHP Symfony 7 and PHP 8 version that makes the site faster and more modularized. So easy to personalize each element. Like if they want to personalize one element of the site, it would be easier. And it is scalable because it is API driven, decoupled architecture, and there are more content tools these days available in the Drupal 11 than it used to be in Drupal 7 or 6. Uh, and it is completely API driven. So things are even if the content is to be personalized, not possible with Drupal, you can connect with a third party plugin and it can optimize the site accordingly. And Drupal's out of box strength is definitely the user profiling, role based content showing, and content modeling, and taxonomies, and views based on the data filtering. All these things are an out of box personalization abilities that Drupal has. But there are other contributed modules like smart content, which is an uh, OpenAI integration module. And there is an Aqua Lift alternative that boosts content based on the user's behavior. And there are personalization modules. Every day there are people launching out an OpenAI integration or Gemini integration, something like that. People are launching a lot. So this ecosystem of Drupal is growing a lot to make the site's experience more personalized. Is there any questions? Okay, I don't see any questions. So, and AI integrations for Drupal, the first one is definitely the LLM based features. AI, like OpenAI, can be integrated with your Drupal site pretty easily. Even the backend, the content tools can be integrated, so that if you're looking to generate a content or generate any meta titles, those things can be driven by OpenAI. And the next one is the AI powered search intent. Um, by default, Drupal doesn't have, but there are tools like Conversion Box or let's scan again. Sorry. Yes, someone talk. Any questions? Right. I'm just muting all. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat so that we can make it answered. Uh, so make it AI powered search intent and personalization rules using LLMs. Um, as Sean was telling, previous personalization was rules based. Now you can use LLM based insights and set those things. And conversational AI chatbots, page assistants, all these things can be brought in with third party tools. And AI driven summarization. People don't have time in reading the entire content. They need an AI based summarization and tagging. Those things should be done. Multilingual and content translation are super easy with AI. That can be integrated with through LLMs and machine learnings like the Google's recommendation or AWS personalization. All these machine learning based APIs, you can bring it to the site. And the same thing with the headless. We the Drupal 11 can be integrated with all these things like Next.js, React, GraphQL, or real-time content delivery across web app and the email. We can do that. So out and out, if you look at it, the entire ecosystem of AI can be pretty easily integrated with Drupal 11, and that can help in doing the personalization on the sites. Um, so pretty much all the basic elements that will make a site personalized is possible with Drupal. So let's see some examples of what kind of personalization you can bring it to the Drupal site. First one is definitely the content personalization. There are too many pages. Drupal is in content target. It's in CMS, so that there will be a lot of content, landing pages, call to actions. But in today's Gen Z case, they don't like to see contents, read contents every now and then. So the content should be more personalized, more driven towards the AI based on the user behavior. So users should be felt they are understood and they are given right kind of content to nurture them to the next stage of the funnel. So content personalization is important, and AI ensures that it's happening. Then the search personalization. So when somebody is searching for red shoes or I want to fix my router, you need to understand the intent of the user and show them the right kind of products or contents to provide them a right meaningful solutions, rather than just showing them based on the keyword red shoes, red, all the red even the red dress, red pajamas will also appear, and shoes will appear. So it has to be more users intent should be understood, and then provide results based on that. So that is how people are looking for, guide them on finding the right products and everything. And commerce personalization, definitely that's a big area. like people who are coming to the site, they needs to easily figure out the right products. And even if they are on the product page, they have to be shown the best accessory product. Even on the cart page, what would be the complementary product they can buy along with the items they are in the cart. So the commerce personalization can easily uplift the conversion on e-commerce site specifically at least by 15%. Your average order value can be easily increased by 5 to 10%. So that's a big jump for many e-commerce store owners. So that's another area people will do AI personalization. And B2B personalization, which again, if you are targeting B2B customers, when they land onto the site, we need to show them, understand the what industry they are in, like if they are in insurance or finance, what kind of industry they are in, and then provide them recommendations like case studies and white papers based on their industry and their tailored needs. So that's again a way of personalizing and nurturing them to go to the next stage. uh, and the fifth one is more on the generative search. Like this is more like, even if you take Google nowadays, they are started providing AI mode. Chat GPT is already there, Perplexity is there. uh, Customers also want that kind of experience on your site. So they want the search to respond and provide them with actions rather than a set of links which they have to click and read. If they are coming to your site for kind of a support or any educational thing, they would just type in their problem, and the system has to understand and respond to them based on their needs in a more uh, directive way of taking actions to them. So again, that's an critical need these days for not only it is a need across any sites. Like you can be a non-profit organization, it can be for educational thing. That's a needed kind of experience people are looking for. And the other one is the AI chatbots, the conversational personalization suite, where the people can ask their needs, their questions in a more conversational way, like an concierge kind of service. They need that on your site. They can access your AI assistant, ask them what their problems are, and you can also ask them more conversational. Are they looking for this need or that need? And then you can provide them recommendations or suggestions. So that is again another use case where you can make your user experience more personalized. So let's see how in real time, like a practical use cases of different industries which Drupal supports can work out. Um, I'm still not seeing any questions. I hope everybody understands it pretty easily. Um, so the practical implementation to do this is we need to have a data collection layer that analyzes the user's browsing behavior, search behavior, and what are the contents or products they're engaging, and if they are going to checkout page, that's a high signal that the user is having an intent to buy. And then you can do the segmentations based on the ML based right now. And the other important thing, the user behavior, and with the ML segmentation, you can have the personalization engine to score an user or provide a recommendations logic, all these things to your customers. And then finally you deliver the contents, like as a the blogs, views, or any third party things, like for email, you can do that. So basically, these are the 4 steps if you look around how to implement AI on any site. So let's see on the proof with the different sites, different versions of sites. For example, if you're in higher education, the biggest problem for business is low enrollment students enrollment despite they get a lot of traffic, and people are having not clear visibility on what program they are looking for. So even if you look at, if you go to any education site, there will be a lot of informations. So students can't find the right programs for them. And if you even search, it will not be coming with a filter or anything. They have to go through multiple links to find the information, or they have to go to the support agent and get those things, which many educational institutions are not able to provide 24 by 7. So that's a big problem. So if you look around, if you implement an AI based personalization like a chatbot with an AI based search, people can easily filter out the courses they need, and the system also can recommend them the right programs and the faculties, and if there is any deadlines for the registrations, you can put that. Even the home page can be personalized, the banner section, everything can be personalized based on the user intent. Again, if you can implement these kind of things, whatever we are seeing with others, there is a 42% increase on in the program page, the traffic to the program page, and there will be more inquiry, about 28% more inquiry in submissions, and people who are searching on your site as an higher intent of buying or higher intent of enrolling. So that we see uh, more engagement on the uh, search to enrollment, I would say. Similarly, if you look around for healthcare, people start going to a site, healthcare sites, with a problem. Hey, I have a problem on this, which they do it on the Google also. But if you are a specialist, they look into your site, whether do you will be able to solve my problem, or they want to book an appointment. So those are the problems generally people have, and they don't have better engagement with user. Also, if you look around, they cannot browse around who would be the right kind of uh, doctor or physician who can help them. Most of the contents would be pretty generic, and booking would be very difficult for them. So if you have an AI based personalization, you can provide more relevant content to those users, and will be able to improve their bookings with smart uh, informations about the doctors and treatments for those kind of problems they solve. So with that, you could see, and if you look around the metrics, you could see a 36% increase on the engagement on the website pages, and then a 24% improvement on the appointments. And overall, you could see a drop in the bounce rates. So again, healthcare is one of like Drupal is play a significant role for healthcare clients. So you could implement those kind of changes on your site. And obviously for B2B, uh, many B2B big organizations still use Drupal. They have an high traffic, but there will be no conversions, and they have a lot of knowledge and resources about their products, but nobody would be going to those pages. People will not be going through white papers. Even if you look at the user problems, navigation is pretty rigid. It's not matching the user's need. So that's a pretty low engagement kind of need there. So if you can implement an AI based personalization, people can find better contents. There will be dynamic recommendation depending on the stage of the user. If they are in the awareness stage, the content would be much different if they are in the consideration stage. So those kind of journey based recommendations can be provided, and also the personalized chatbot can help them in finding the content, book an appointment with the team. So if you look around the key metrics, we see an improvement in a 47% increase in resource downloads, a 33% increase in more demo bookings, overall, and a pretty improvement on the conversion rate. All right. The other use case we also see with Drupal based site is the e-commerce. So basically, people who are in e-commerce have this major pain point: I cart abandonment, and they don't have a scope to upsell or cross sell. That will be very relevant to the items they added to the cart. So always, if you look around shoppers, they have the same website products. There will be no recommendations for them. They just come to your site, see if the product is there. If they cannot find it, they exit. So that is something we can easily solve with the AI. AI based purchase intent, if you analyze, you can create relevant bundles and deals. And even on the search behavior and browsing behavior, based on the intent of the user, you can recommend or show the right product at the top of the searches. And we have seen with many clients who have implemented our product called conversion box. That's one of our conversion box is an product that we built for AI based personalization. We have seen an increase in conversion rate up to 38%, improvement on the average order value by 20 to 25%. So that's a significant boost for our clients. Even on the government, so citizens who are coming to your site or any staff, the information is so complex. There will be a lot of information, and showing them the right kind of content for those citizens would be really difficult. User had to, like, if I have to uh, for example, if I have to pay my water bill, I have to see a lot of information before finding the right kind of uh, content. Like, or else, if you are looking to find an approval for my building, there will be a lot of process. I have to go through all these things. Those kind of contents, the AI, Gen AI based search can easily solve. So if you implement AI personalization or Gen AI search, um, the citizens can easily find the right content. Even if you look around, the menu structures can also be dynamic, and users can access contents across all levels. So the key metrics, if you look around, is there will be an 41% improvement on the task completion rate if they are looking to, because if they're looking to pay a bill or find an information to get an approval for my building, those kind of tasks can be easily done with this kind of new tools. Otherwise, they have to be searching. If they can't find, they have to call the support desk, which they have limited resources. They cannot solve that. So something they strongly have a difficulty there. There's a question. I have a lot of questions. Uh, I have a question. Like, I have a lot of questions. Just wondering where to start. You mentioned Gen Z don't want to read a lot of content. Why is this important? Are we assuming they are the only audience? With respect to chatbots, it's pretty debatable whether there is a demand for these things. Over the time of last couple of weeks, I experienced with the chatbots. For example, I ask a simple questions: Can I get Niagara on lake by train? It is a simple question. All, let me repeat, all of the answers were about Niagara Falls, entirely useless and frustrating. I understand, Michael. So what I was trying to say about Gen Z is, uh, I don't know the previous generation people, millennials. They they try to not read a lot of contents. They wanted an instant responses. Like, if I want to fix my router, I don't need to go through an entire documentation to find it. If my router is broken, what are the things that I need to do? Just give me steps. That should be how people are looking these days, rather than reading a lot of content. Again, it is use case based one. Not all use cases can be solved by these kind of AI chatbots, but it is having an important role that it can save a lot of time in research. Instead of going through all these contents, it can directly give an answer to you. Like if I want to get an approval for my building, what is the process? If you go to any government websites, the county websites, they will give a lot of information about it. But all I need, just fill out a form here. These are the things you need to do, and I might have a follow-up questions around that. You can ask that. The system can do that. So that's how people want to interact with websites. Or you can think about that is what the world is moving towards. That's why um, uh, the browsers like Comet or Perplexity's browsers, they're launching where people, the UI is not even needed anymore. Just ask questions, it will respond to them. Again, it is use case based, but it is trying to solve some of the problems that we used to take longer time. And with respect to your other question, like the chatbots are not providing useful information, that's true. uh, if you don't train your AI engines properly, it could not provide proper responses. Again, if you go to ChatGPT, they are trying to be like an engine for everyone, like the AI engine for everyone. Obviously, it cannot answer all the use cases. There will be some edge cases, they will not do it properly. But if you bring that experience to your side, that AI chatbot kind of experience to your side, you know what kind of questions people would be asking on your site, what would be the responses, and you can improve them. And if you can't find, the system can't find it, don't, there should be not be any hallucination. Just point them to the support team, or send them, ask them to send an email to get more information. That is much easier rather than hallucinate. So that's what we recommend. Like the AI training is the most important thing if you are looking to improve experience. So those kind of things is what like product like us, like conversion box or Drupal AI services does, that we train your systems engine so that it answers it properly. Of course, there will be edge cases. There are some questions it cannot answer, which, that's why these AI models are adaptive. They learn from these mistakes and try to improve it. Over the time, it will try to handle many use cases. At start, it would be bad, but if it keeps improving, learning from the mistakes, it will improve. One day, it would be answering much better than a human. I hope I answered that question. Good questions. So, so the other important thing is for Drupal is being used in non-profit. Um, the same kind of questions, like the biggest problem with non-profit, it's a lot of users wanted to engage volunteer or be eligible to be some of their programs, get beneficiary for some of the programs. But for that, they have to see whether they are eligible or not. They have to ask these questions to the non-profit organizations. But generally, they don't have that much money to put a big team to respond to all these questions. So they always struggle. Getting back to the customers or the users itself takes longer time, and the users will be frustrated. They cannot find the right information, and they drop off. Even volunteers, if somebody wants to help them out also, they find it very difficult. So that's a big problem, which AI personalization can solve. Like the AI chatbots can instantly respond to them, and it can easily save 10 to 20 hours of time for customer for your support team. And the donors also will be feeling valued and connected for a longer time. So we could easily see an improvement on their site's engagement, more donations, lower drop off. All these things can happen on your site if you start thinking about implementing an AI tools, AI chatbots, all these things on your site. Of course, this platform, these kind of AI personalization, as these challenges which I talked about earlier, the data inconsistency, you should have data, how good your data is, how good your AI would be. So you have to have a proper data and it needs to be validated, and the system has to be trained properly. Otherwise, how Michael was saying in the chat, like it will not be providing useful information. There has to be proper training, and you cannot do too much personalization, then it would be very intrusive. You should play in a limit, because if you are giving them more information about the user which they don't even know about, they'll be feeling intrusive and try to get away. So there has to be a level how much personalization you can do, and of course you need to measure whether or what kind of personalization do, or what kind of responses the AI systems provide. Of course, you need to perform measure that and optimize your site and the AI experience, and you need to give validations to the privacy. You should respect compliance, all these things. And overall, if you look around, there has to be someone who need to monitor all these uh, personalization and AI experience overall. Otherwise, don't do that just for a sake. Hey, I did AI. There has to be someone who has to monitor this and optimize it and fine tune it always. Otherwise, it will become a total failure. And the best practices, if you look around for Drupal sites, is maintain and clear taxonomy, have a structured metadata for better AI experience, and begin with high impact areas like search, product recommendations. Those are the areas where you can easily show your AI personalization, and also do a mix of personalized content discovery, optimization in a way like there should be some generic and some personalized content as an uh, a mix. It shouldn't be just personalized content. Then the user will feel intrusive, and use caching, follow GDPR, and keep an active monitoring of all the AI decisions that your system is taking, whether that is right or not. Measure that. Those are some of the best practices we recommend. And future of personalization in AI is definitely agentic AI experiences that is already there. The AI chatbots, you can do a lot of tasks in agent AI chat systems that would be there in future. Fully autonomous personalization, predictive user mapping, and cross-channel experience orchestrations. More and more agentic experience would be there in the system. That's what specifically for Drupal. For other platforms, it is already there, but for Drupal, they are on the path to do all these things as an um, out-of-box feature. All right. Any questions? I have one more questions. Michael has a question. The question is, people who are in business, they who are doing business on designing and building websites, they have to is another reason my son when you're trying to figure out why Gmail not working for us. So I get a point from Michael that there is going to be a need for UI UX specialists. It's not going to go away today. There's a big need for it. Of course, you're right. There are some areas if the AI is not trained properly, and again, AI is not where it used to be. It is in a growing stage. Think about how ChatGPT was when it was in 3.5 version. Now 5 is much smarter. So that's how things would be. And UI UX need is also going to be there. So uh, again, AI is not going to solve all the problems in the world. There has to be a user intent. There has to be a tool that understands these users. It is going to grow eventually, and even a user who is designing the site has to understand the user's perspective when they are coming to your site. What are the problems they have? What can be how can they can easily find the information pretty easily, like from the navigation menu, everything. um, there will be always a need for understanding the users. So in our opinion is that AI will be a tool that will be useful for a user to do the research faster or find information faster. um, of course, it will not be a problem solver for all the edge cases, but basic use cases like I'm trying to travel to a specific location. What is the best um, roadmap or road? Not say roadmap. What is the best areas or locations and the travel plan? It can easily provide those kind of things, and more transactional based keywords or researches can be easily done through AI chatbots. Even deep research is now very good, but not in the way that you're looking at, which eventually be happening in coming days. But AI training is one of the key element everybody should do. Analyze the responses, see why the user didn't make an action. If your AI responded and still user didn't make an action, the response is bad, how you can improve it. That's why there has to be someone monitoring all these AI experience on your site. So yeah, you are right. It's not there. There are some use cases which will be there, and which would be there for another few more years. Any other questions? All right. So, anybody who wants to be taking understanding of how your personalization or AI on your site, would be happy to provide you guys with an audit, or you can book an appointment with us to see how AI can help your organization. What are the use cases you can solve? So we can provide a strategic session for you guys, and you can also take a look at our product called the conversion box to see how that can solve your AI based product finder or AI based content finder. So take a look at it. Would be happy to help you there. In case if you have any other questions, please send out an email to me or Sean. I'm dropping my email address in the link here. We will also send you the presentation along with the recorded informations in next 2 days. Uh, in case if you guys don't have any other questions, would we are thank you for joining in, and would be seeing you in another uh, yeah, great webinar. So looking forward to connecting with you guys soon. Thanks for your time, guys. Have a great day. Sean, do you want to add anything?
No, I think you covered everything. Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you, guys.